Ain't no sunshine when he's
Emperor Star, Blacket and Congo.
ain't no sunshine.
Morning, noon, and night time.
Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. It's not warm when he's away.
Really long.
Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime he goes away. Wonder this time when he's gone. Wonder if he's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime he goes away. And I know, 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 I know,
Baby.
I know, 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 and I know, 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 I know.
Good afternoon, all my listeners. How are you doing? Yes, we're kind of late, but I'm glad you're here with me, you know?
Thank
Because
you for having
we have a special guest with me today. We have one special guest with me. I wonder if you want to introduce herself. Introduce yourself.
No man, you invited me.
Introduce yourself to the world here. Yeah.
Okay, people here know me as Shani T. Quite an outspoken voice on the island, I suppose, for many, many years. Not just the last few years, but for decades really. I've been coming here for decades and I've spent a lot of time here. So Jamaica's like my second home. And yeah, I suppose I'm a teacher, I'm into spa, I've lived abroad and travelled the world, had a very blessed career, and I've got to witness a lot of things in my travels. So, I don't know, that's me. A very humble Welsh girl with an English accent.
So,
I'm not English.
how long have you been coming to Jamaica?
So I started to come to Jamaica when I was like 19. I'm 52 now, nearly 53. And I came to live here 2004. In between here and Hong Kong, I was kind of going between Jamaica and Hong Kong from
What you said
2004.
England first, now you're gonna Hong Kong.
Yeah man, I was born in South Wales. So in the UK you have the United Kingdom, which is England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. We're all separate countries. We have our own borders, our own indigenous beliefs. And I was born into a very simple Welsh family. And my father moved to England when I was 6. So I'm the only one in my family with an English accent. When I go home to visit, this is how my family deal with me. Oh, she's a foreigner. Because it's like a border between Wales and England, and they see it as a big deal for them to come from Wales up to England. It's like they're going to a next country.
Understand.
Like they're not go foreign. So,
Really?
and I grew up in a beautiful part of England, I have to say, Manchester. So I love I'd say I'm a Welsh Manc. That's what I'd say, I'm a Manc. That's what they call people from Manchester. I'm very proud of my Manchester upbringing. When I went to England, I didn't speak English. Welsh was my first language. I was nearly 6. I had to learn to speak English very quickly. And yeah, Manchester in the north of England, where you'll find Man United, Man City, Liverpool Football Club, and it's a hub for music. The people there are just amazing and friendly. There's a big difference between the south of England and the north.
Understand.
There's that divide that they like to put in there, you know, like when them divide and rule us. Them do it to colonize people too, you know. Borders.
All borders.
So you hate each other. The North must hate the South, and the South must hate the North. So we keep you divided. We don't keep you united.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, Shani, the reason why I bring you up on the show today, you know, there's been a lot of things happening around the world, especially in England and a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yes. And the other day, on social media, I see you put out one video and you talk up some bag of something what go on at the pandemic and stuff, and you notice there's some woody for people run at the pandemic time, shut down and some woody for something go on and vaccine and some woody for something. You come make a speech where they touch some topic where I don't think the government would allow. So we don't love you clear yourself and make the people them know what really that happened in the pandemic. However, we'll pass on to talk about, you know, but I don't know if we can make it for the whole show, but we're going to take
Come on, we'll talk about. Alright, that video was made 3 years ago. And I didn't actually expect it to go viral.
But it go viral?
Yeah, it went mega viral. Yeah, man, I know. Basically, I feel Jamaica is my home, and I love the people here. And when you look as a whole, as an island, if I was to guess as a foreigner here, I'd say a good 60% of the island are illiterate and can't read and write, not through any fault of their own. That is through government suppression, which I've seen in many countries that I've visited in Africa, Asia, Malaysia. You see even in Australia, an ex-British colonised country. But what I was seeing here was, like I was here and I was witnessing it myself, that people were not being given all of the information. Things were being kind of cut out. And a lot of people who would not question that. Whereas in England, people were questioning things left, right and centre. People were not all complying. People were saying, hold on a minute, wait a minute. When we go on to the FDA, and everything I said, if it would have been a lie, they could have sued me. But it wasn't, because I did my research and I went on to the FDA.
But they said Djblacket don't do it.
Yeah, man, I'm banned from social media as a result of that video 3 years ago. If I put anything up, doesn't matter what I put up, even if it's a simple thing. If Bill Gates' algorithm catches me, I'm blocked. Now, I want people to understand my father was a preacher man. His family wanted bigger things for him, but because he went to school with Haile Selassie's nephew, my daddy had a very different output.
The man Selassie himself?
Yes.
The Selassie?
The Selassie.
Yes.
We have invitations from His Majesty to my father, to his nephew's wedding. So, me now, there are certain things I hold dear, and there are certain things I was raised with that have always stayed with me, and my daddy loved His Majesty. My daddy came from a family that owned a coal mine, until obviously coal got kind of shut down, and you know, like these totalitarian people that have got this big agenda, they take things out bit by bit. So my dad has always said to me, God rest his soul, you know, in Preach Selassie from a pulpit, as a man who was a Christian, he literally loved that man in a way that I grew up and was very blessed. My dad would tell me stories, things that even when my daddy was passing away, I made sure that he did a memoir telling me stories that I didn't know about him and Selassie's nephew. And to me, when I looked at all of His Majesty's teachings, and my father used to say to me, if you really want to see a true man of leadership, it is Selassie. And that was my upbringing. So my dad always used to say, we moved to England, and he would say, don't you lose your Welsh culture. Don't you turn out like these English kids and these English, and don't forget your language and don't forget your culture. And you don't, because they tried to colonize the Welsh, they tried to colonize the Irish, they tried to do stuff to us equally that they did to you as a people, because we're an indigenous people, the Welsh, the Irish. And they treated us quite badly over the years. I remember when I moved from Wales to England not being able to speak English. All the white English kids mocked me, and all my friends were either Indian, Chinese or black, because the white kids wouldn't accept me because I had a different accent. So that video, I felt like people here in Jamaica, it is a beautiful island that is forced out of education, because people, not everybody can afford an education. It should be free here, but it's not. And I felt like I just needed to educate people, because when I saw what was happening, I thought, hold on, the governments in every country have a duty of care to their people, to give them the correct advice so they can give what is called legally informed consent. That means if you go for surgery tomorrow, the hospital will bring a form and tell you, okay, we're going to remove this cancer, but there's an 80-20% chance you're probably going to die on the table. You have to enter that surgery knowing all of the pros and cons of it. And when they brought this Bill Gates medicine out, all they did, because I saw Bill Gates coming here, and when I saw Bill Gates coming here and parring with the Prime Minister here, I thought, no sir. You know, this man from back in India, where we go India and watch him do the same thing with a jug and kill enough picnic, paralyze them, make them blind with his coming in as a savior. We go to India and witness. We can only talk about what I've witnessed in my life. India is the worst colonized country in the world. Jamaica does not have poverty like India. You see now here, you can go down to the sea, you can add a little hook and you can catch a fish. You have 1.3 or whatever billion in Delhi alone. They all pee and crap in the same water, they wash their clothes and bury their dead in and drink that same water. You think the government cares? Because it's under colonialism still. Jamaica is still colonized. It's not decolonized. Anytime you talk about Jamaica being indigenous, the Prime Minister cracks out like we don't have any indigenous people on this island. So who are you? Who are you? May I talk to you? Who are you? If you because Africans were traveling the seas long before people like Christopher Columbus. So you have a very strong foundation on this island of Maroons. For me, I felt like people needed to know what was going on so they could make informed consent. I wanted people not to just drop dead because we have Agenda 20, we have Agenda 2025, we have Agenda 2030, we have Agenda 50 in play that ultimately has been in the making for decades. Starting even with the enslavement of black and brown people, where the white man tells you all that, you know, you're not as good as me, you're not equal to me, you're less than me, do as you're told. If I say jump, you just jump as high as I tell you. Well, nothing gusto. The reason why the white man was so threatened is because you, as a black and brown race, are superior and stronger. I can identify that. Do you seriously think that the white man welcomes me? You see, from when I have a black picnic and me lay down with a black man and breathe with a black man, the white man no longer looks at me as white or brown, come here and part coolie and different mix-up, but them look on me now as, you're worthless because you have to lie down with a black man, and we deal with that for nearly 30 years.
Well, me have a little understanding reality.
So it's about what's right and wrong, enough of the divide and rule, enough of the poverty, enough of the lies. The best Prime Minister you ever had on this island was Michael Manley. And look how the elitists tried to drag him out. You have to have a puppet master. Because the reality is the prime ministers don't really control this country. External parties do. But Jamaica is a very powerful island with powerful people on it, and that has powerful heritage. Indigenous laws and cultures that are being ignored every single day. Laws are being passed here that are technically, and all over the world, not just here, because you could see it all over the world. You know, it was like, they never told you it was an experimental mRNA thing. We're going to call it Bill Gates juice, BG juice. Because the algorithms, Bill Gates loves me and track me down and block me on anything. Because you see, the truth will set us free at the end of the day. It doesn't matter the colour of our skin, it's about what's right and wrong, good over evil. Every time. I have clean hands and a clean heart. It's about people. I teach here and have the most incredible women and men as students that are even beginning to realise that they are superior, not inferior to the white man. The white man endorses white privilege. Look at tourism here. It makes me laugh. Because if it was me promoting tourism, this would be me. Right? Let me show you how I would be.
Alright, now tell me yet. I'm going to play one song and you come back and tell me where you are. I'm going to play one song and you come back and you see that song I'm going to play though.
Which one?
Why you tell me who produced that song? Why you tell me who produced that song?
One of my songs.
What? You come like you know what I'm going. Every time.
It's your time of people. Life from PT1.
Since last I go over here,
Since last night,
now it's life over then.
Watch me and these people that are burn up. Watch me and them. Watch me and them. Ask me, you know who I
They tired of talk, you must break how we no fair. When greatest understanding, let them talk how we no care. Keep believing in the subject.
Why is the one called Mr. Sizzler?
Reaching for your goal and every day you get
every time. It's your time.
Sizzler Melange exclusive. You know once you listen to Djblacket, that's straight exclusive.
Since last I go over here,
Since last night,
now it's life over then. Every time. Upliftment for the youth there.
right now.
Our teachings for the youth there. Up on the front line, out on the battlefield, they unite. They tired of talk, you must break how we no fair. When greatest understanding, let them talk how we no care. Keep believing in the subject, you do it, I swear. Reaching for your goal, and every day you get to there. People love, until the people are kind. Let them make it to you.
I come to teach you now. Teach you how to teach them today in a shadi.
Upliftment for the youth there.
Right now.
Our teachings for the youth there. Up on the front line, out on the battlefield, they unite. They tired of talk, you must break how we no fair. When greatest understanding, let them talk how we no care. Keep believing in the subject, you do it, I swear. Reaching for your goal, and every day you get to there. People love, until the people are kind. You can make it so you can tell you say I just stand. It's right there, come take it, stop acting blind. Rise up and take a stand and free your mind. Hey, God of top, you must play how we no fair. With the greatest understanding, let them check how we no care. Keep believing in yourself, you can do it, I swear. Reaching for your goal, and every day you get good there. You know, I feel people are kind. You change, you can tell you to tell you, say you're just kind. It's not very, but when you start to acting blind, rise, but make you stand and free your mind. Wouldn't you like to see Marcus Garvey rise? Wouldn't you like to see Jacob Miller rise? Wouldn't you like to see Gordon Silk rise? And wouldn't you like to see you're gonna use them rise? High above the heads of the enemy, God will never leave my side. We will rise, we will rise. We will rise, we will rise.
Yes, see. Vice the one that's just marching. Yes, see. We shall rise. We shall.
You know, say, I listen to,
Yeah, man.
I listen to this because obviously my other half, Caveman Production,
Yes,
or
yes, this is
Merchant,
Caveman Production.
with Sizzler, and you see how you bring this tune up, just make me want to say something. I hear a lot of things, so I want to kind of send something out there to the world because people have a lot of assumptions about Sizzler Kalungi. People come to me with things about Sizzler, and I want to just set some records straight.
About the general.
Yeah, man. A certain man in England love run them out about Sizzler, especially England. Them talk about Dada like him. You see what we love about Dada? Dada just look on them like them one mosquito that him just swat and move on. But I want to turn around because somebody said something to me the other day and I had to literally put the person in their place. Start talk about Sizzler and I overheard this conversation. I had to turn around and say, listen me, you know, say Dada have Sizzler Youth Foundation. You know, say helping building schools. Do you know what he does for August Town? Never mind August Town. How he links with Africa. How if somebody turned up at Dada's gate and said, my mother in hospital and we seriously need somebody, that man will go out of his way to help that person. If a person turn up in the morning and a Sizzler and him have a wheelchair there and they need a them guy with a wheelchair, people need to stop talking foolishness. And I've been in promotion in England, so I understand how you lot stay over there with your bad mind and your colonisers' ways, and you're just jealous. You're so jealous of how Sizzler's career has gone. And he may not do things exactly like how you want him to do it, but this man is juggling a lot of things that you know nothing about. So quiet. Hush. Don't talk about what you don't know. Me can talk and me witness how much Dada do for poor people on this island. So people need to go on about their business, go build their empire instead of praying and being grudgeful. And I think whatever Obia, cause you can't touch angels of Jah.
True.
And Dada one of them.
You shall chant for the king. You hear
Me will call when people wrong. Don't talk to me about how Sizzler, what Sizzler do. And then I might want to talk from England and watch and think, boy, sit down man, you know, nothing, you run to England, you can't even live in yard. Why you don't come back here so and live? You see what I realised coming here all these years? True Jamaicans run back a yard to live. The colonised ones stay in England and shout from over there, so. Cause big sea, you know, separate the two. The double day you get on a flight and come over here so and say, you not even reach Judgment Yard. From airport out of Port Royal, you not even reach Judgment Yard, remember me tell you. It's about what's right, man.
See, Charlie, you know, I want to ask you something. The other day, I see you touch on a topic like you reach way up a Maroon town.
Yeah, man.
With Maroon Chief and bag of something. What up there? One up. One really up to that. The world needs to know these things what's going on, you know. And sometimes we last to these things.
Alright, I'm going to talk truth here. You see, Paramount Chief, he wasn't perfect in his approaches, but I got 7 years of mentorship from that man. Because my daughter is mixed race, but by the white man, she's always going to be black. Same as I was saying, how people look at me now. And I've always been a truth seeker, so for me it's about finding out about black history. Because when I went to school in England, them teach you the colonisers' history, same way as here in Jamaica, because it was a British colony. Your educational system, your whole syllabus in there, all needs decolonising, and told us the truth. Because you're still suppressing black and brown people on this island by not saying the truth. Yeah? And if you look, I was that if I was going to be advising people tourist-wise, I would be sending them up to the Rio Grande to Nanny's place, to Moortown. I would tell people here, don't go Negril and Montego Bay more violent than anywhere on this damn island. It makes me laugh. Yep. And every tourist I fly in there and thinks it's a nice little place.
No, but you know, I saw them say
right, so I get that. But what I'm showing you is, there's nothing wrong with those places, but they're so commercialised and tourist kind of driven. No, that's not Jamaica. No. And people come to Jamaica to, let me tell you what people come here for. Them come here for reggae music. Them come here for weed. Them come here for the beaches and for Caribbean food and the culture. And now down, I remember coming here 30 years ago. In the grill, you'd have Stone Love playing one night and different. Now it's all locked down. Hotels are like all inclusive. Don't come out. Pushing away again, the local man. So the tourists can't see what's going on here. So they're all kept in a bubble and given a narrative of the people that control the private sector.
Right, everything changed, you know.
Right, so for me, I would be saying to people, come to Kingston, go visit Devon House, go visit Bob Marley Museum, but don't stay in the grill and then go Portland, go St Mary, go St Thomas Baths, which was discovered by a runaway slave.
That's a real Jamaica.
And a real Jamaica that I love. Portland is my parish. St Mary, I love St Mary, Robins Bay. You have some of the most beautiful places that people do not see when they come here because they're all shoved down in Morbay, Orchie, or Negril. But you know how many country people still show that culture of Jamaica that people would prefer? Enough people now use Airbnb and go and stay out by Boston Beach and Frenchman's Cove and are coming away from these big globalists dictating where you should stay and the narrative you should see. And then they say, oh, Kingston, it's dangerous. Kingston is the hub. If it's so dangerous, how do you have a 5-year plan for the waterfront? So if Kingston's so dangerous, you already started your plan, it's online, or you can go look for it. The government have built a lovely thing all along the coastline there, but yeah, it's so dangerous. You're contradicting each other. You don't want people to come here and see the real Jamaica and talk to real Jamaicans. That's why you keep them locked in all-inclusive. And on that note, why are you not bringing down there to perform for these tourists, great people like Marcia Griffiths, or Sizzler, or Capleton, or Warrior King, or Highway, or all of them? Why you not bring them down and make them perform in the hotel so people can see them? Because they come here to see them. They don't come here to be locked away in a marble institute that you call all-inclusive. Because all the stuff in there you've colonised, you've westernised to accommodate them. Yes sir, no sir. You understand me? So the staff in there, whilst they may give some cultural stuff, they're frightened to tell them the real stuff going on.
But when we get to understand, Shani, even though them tell these people don't come to Jamaica and then you know come to Kingston and you know this, they play them full same way.
Yeah, but a lot of people come in here that I know and then go say on to Clarendon or Mandeville and them places. But if you look here, how many places do you see Black River advertised? Salt River, St Thomas Baths, Boston Bay, Frenchman's Cove, Winifred Beach. They are the most beautiful parts of this island. Monkey Island, Lime Key that's out in the ocean. You can take a fisherman will carry over there, you know. They now promote them. And those are where the real hub of real Jamaicans are. Right, they want to keep them away from that. And then that suppresses people again because they can't make a living. They control the narrative, they control the money again.
So let me ask you a question, Shani. One next thing when we see on the island, I never experienced it myself. I don't know if you experience it. But there's something else on the island where I've gone and right across the world where we don't love you touch a topic for right so because you probably know more human trafficking. Because all the people are listening to Shani, we don't know which part of them are. We don't understand what I'm going on.
Alright, this is a topic that I kind of warn you before I talk about it. Obviously I went to Hong Kong in '98 and I went over there to live. And being in Hong Kong, you have access to China. They sent me on many projects worldwide. And I like to live amongst the locals because I like to keep that local impact in the culture of what we're building there because it's important people come for that culture, so I delete and put a westernised thing there. You understand me?
Yeah.
It's like when English people first started to go to Spain 30 years ago, they'd never eat Spanish food. So the following year now you'd see egg chips and baked beans. They'd make it English to accommodate the English visiting there rather than sticking to their roots and making English people eat their food. They gave way to the colonisers and alright, we'll start cooking your breakfast so we keep your business. Yeah? So for me, trafficking has been going on for decades and decades, but WikiLeaks leaked a lot of stuff about it. When I went to India, when I travel, I go to places of charities that are, people draw to my attention so as I can get to see firsthand and speak to people who've been victims of it, people who've lost family members from it. It's about human harvesting of organs and adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is really like a drug for the elites, but it's blood. It's ritual blood sacrifice. So they'll kidnap children. The younger the children are.
Tony, Shani, my way attack on the ear, over the point area. And we ask it to me, say.
So they basically, the children that go missing are normally going missing to accommodate a very rich man's elite's agenda. Whether it be adrenochrome.
Shani, attack, you have any facts for them?
You can go online and Google if they go on duckduckgo.com and just put in adrenochrome. I can put links and send links to you. It's all over the social media now, adrenochrome. They've been using blood in many patents of things. Like, if you go and look at a lot of Bill Gates' patents, he uses a lot of weird ingredients in all of his Coke, Pepsi, I don't want to say on here to get, just go and look up the patents, all of them of Bill Gates, and be careful because him just buy Heineken and Red Stripe.
Jesus.
So, him just buy Heineken and Red Stripe, so him control Heineken and Red Stripe. So him control him flying in and out in bedroom with your Prime Minister. We can't stand Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a genocidal, murdering maniac, to me.
No.
But all I'm saying is,
Oh yeah.
I wonder if I read something, Shada.
Alright. Hey. Oh yeah, now.
I wonder if I read something, Shada.
See. I live the life I see for right to shine. A chapter a day is and I guideline. So I should stay away from war and crime and pay wicked people and just no mind. This is the time to read between the lines. Can't play stupid and go on like you're blind. And if you read up Djblacket, I beg you, who knows it?
No, Shani.
Youth man.
to victims of the other.
Read the Bible. Hey.
Kung ano na pa play that tune, like I'm gonna believe what you say a while ago.
You wanna say?
So Sean,
Yeah.
tell me what you say a while ago again. 'Cause you make me get kind of confused a while ago.
Right. So basically, they use human trafficking and they've been doing it a lot. In Africa, it was rife 20 years ago. They'll kidnap somebody and sell their kidneys, heart, liver. That's one element. But they also want the blood, and the blood is what they call adrenochrome. Now, when we go into a state of fear, and what they do is they torture their victims, it's very disturbing. It's out there, you can find it. If you actually have a Telegram channel, there's a group on there called Jamaican Truth. You'll find a lot on there about human trafficking, organ trafficking, and about adrenochrome. And adrenochrome comes from the adrenal gland. When we get scared, we either go into a mode of fight or flight. The more scared we get, the more adrenochrome builds in our blood, and when they drink it, they say it gives them a high. And it's an Illuminati thing, a sacrificing thing. When you hear about sacrificing, and people say it's a conspiracy, it's not. There's so much proof out there. I mean, I'm looking at a page now from the United Nations of victims talking about their experience of being trafficked for body parts and the adrenochrome business. It is what it is, it's out there, they hide everything, you don't understand that.
Big business.
A massive business, you don't understand that all media is controlled by these huge elitists. Look at Jeffrey Epstein. Look at Jeffrey Epstein and the people that visited Epstein Island. Look at Ghislaine Maxwell. Her father was the biggest tycoon with newspapers in the UK. We still don't see the list, but we know the people that visited there. We know that people like Hillary Clinton are into sacrificing. There's so many whistleblowers, but you have to look. I mean, some you'll find on Google, but some's been taken down since the pandemic because Google is owned by the dunce Bill Gates. So you have to go on like duckduckgo.com and look at channels like BuyShoot and go on Telegram, Jamaican Truth and Caribbean Alliance. There's channels on Telegram, you can even put in adrenochrome and it will bring up videos, and I warn you in advance not to watch them because some of those leak from Epstein's Island across social media and they're quite disturbing. I've seen some very disturbing things in my travels and speaking to people who live in those places trying to make a difference. India, Indonesia, Asia. You see a lot of things that are not nice. And when you come from a Western world and we're supposed to be all equal, it's only when you travel to the most remote, underdeveloped places that you see that we are not equal. It's an illusion that they put out there in the press. Look at Israel right now. Look at what's going on there. People don't understand the atrocities that Israel does to the Palestinians every day. There's footage out there showing them murdering children, assassinating